In the words of the late George Carlin, BS is the glue that binds us together as a nation. Here comes a ton of it. It's time for BSing with Big Nate.
You say I can't walk the walk. You say I can't talk the talk. You say I can't rock the rock. There's no putting a stop to me this time. Your words will never get in this head of mine. Killing me is your desire. Leaving me to burn with fire. Lace up my leather boots, this is the life I choose. Pain mounted started, so we get ahead. You say I can't walk the walk. You say I can't talk the talk. You say I can't rock the rock. Watch me while I walk the walk. Look out while I talk the talk. Here I come to rock the rock. From now on, you do as I say. Until you awake from this unconscious state. Oh, just you wait. Two can play this game. Lace up my leather boots, this is the life I choose. Paint my lips dark red, it's the way I get ahead. You say I can't walk the walk. You say I can't talk the talk. You say I can't rock the rock. Watch me while I walk the walk. Look out while I talk the talk. Here I come to rock the You said I can't walk the walk. You said I can't talk the talk. You said I can't rock the rock. You saw me walk the walk. You heard me talk the talk. Now I live to rock the
Abby K with Rock the Rock right here on BSing with Big Nate. Welcome to another lovely edition. Let's kick off the weekend the right way. Joined today by Abby K. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Hanging in there, ready to get this weekend started, and there's no better way to do that than rocking. So we're going to get a little bit of a background on you, but first I want to start with that track, Rock the Rock. You've already put out a video for it and everything, so what's the process been like with all that?
So I wrote Rock the Rock about 6 or 7 months ago after a few things happened. The main thing that happened that kind of sparked the inspiration was someone commented that rock and roll is dead and that girls don't rock. And I really took that to heart because I don't believe rock and roll will ever die. And also, there's so many rocking females like Nita Strauss, Lizzie Hale, Ash Costello. And I wrote Rock the Rock kind of as proof that rock and roll is not dead and girls can rock too. And then we recorded it around January. We were planning to have it released around May, but of course with coronavirus, it kind of pushed everything back a little bit. And it was a really unique experience getting to, and actually having to do it all virtually. We weren't all in the studio all at once. So it was kind of a unique experience, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. And now it's released and we're working on the next one already.
Well, that's exciting. I mean, a lot of people have had to kind of stop down and slow down this year, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that you haven't been similarly affected. You've just had to modify things, and hey, that's cool. But I want to talk about that for a bit. I don't like, and I don't think I'm qualified to talk about a female perspective. It bothers me that people say things like that because, I mean, hell, you can't go into any bar, any venue, and not hear Joan Jett at least once. So
Exactly.
girls have been rocking for years. It's a fact of matter. You mentioned Nita Strauss, and I want to talk about your influences. Actually, how did you end up getting your start, and who really stands out to you?
So, of course, I have to mention my dad. When I was about 5, I wanted to be like my sister. So, every time she would ask for a Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber song to be put on her iPod, I would do the same thing. And my dad had this rule where he would give us the song and then he would also give us the good stuff. So, I got Kiss and Alice Cooper. And my sister really never caught on, but I mean, I just started listening to it honestly because I didn't know how to remove it from my library because I was so young. And so I would have to say my dad is really what got me started in this. And then my musical inspiration at first was Gene Simmons because I was around 12 and I asked my dad to take me to a concert and he picked Kiss. And that's really what started it for me.
It's weird how similarly aligned our histories are. Granted, I think I'm a little bit older than you. My first album was a cassette tape, and it was Kiss's Destroyer, which is still to this day one of my favorite albums. Big fan of Gene Simmons. I like the whole, from everything to the music to the stage show, everything. Just, I mean, simply put, it rocks. And Gene always stuck out to me for some reason. So I love that influence. I love that that's there, and I love that your dad's doing the good work and spreading the word.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Kiss tune?
Probably Detroit Rock City because that's the first song I learned how to play. It's very special to me.
All right, I can dig it. So how'd you end up deciding? I mean, was it purely just Gene Simmons plays the bass, I should play the bass, or was there more thought into that?
So the day after the Kiss concert, I came home and I started playing guitar. Even though at the concert I was mesmerized by Gene Simmons, but I still didn't really know the difference between a guitar and a bass. I thought they were just the same thing. And the guitar is all we had in the house. So I started playing by ear, picking it up a little bit. And then I went for my first guitar lesson a few years later. And the traffic was terrible and we ended up missing the lesson completely, but they had a band coming in that needed a bassist. So the teacher was like, "Hey, do you want to play bass?" I was like, "What's that?" And as soon as I picked it up, I just knew how to play it. It was kind of a weird experience, but I'm definitely glad that that happened.
You're part of a pretty elite group because there's not a lot of bassists who are also singers. I mean, that doesn't happen incredibly often. I mean, you can name like Paul McCartney. There's, of course, Lemmy from Motorhead,
Yeah.
Gene Simmons, of course, and Kiss. They kind of all share vocal duties. How did you decide to make that transition from bass to also singing as well?
So it's actually kind of a funny story. I was in 8th grade at the time that I joined this band, and the rest of the boys were in 7th grade, right around the time that they were going through puberty, and they were all singing. And we would come in for a rehearsal every week, and they'd have to be like, "Oh, I can't sing that song anymore," because their voices were getting lower. And I was so tired of like cutting out songs and adding in new ones. I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna sing." So I started singing, which was actually really hard for me. I grew up extremely shy and I was very uncomfortable with it at first. But once we added Detroit Rock City into the set, I was full rocker mode on.
So I'm going to ask you something about bass playing because that was the instrument I decided to pick up because I'm tone deaf, and I thought, hey, I got rhythm at least, so we can try that. I never really progressed on the bass too much. I can play most punk tunes. Most part, it's fairly easy, but the only song of note that I ever learned that I'm actually really proud of is Kiss's God of Thunder. So I got to ask, what's the most fun song for you to play on the bass?
YYZ by Rush, all the way.
I mean, the fact that you can play that's just Getty Elite, another fine example of a bassist singer. YYZ is a fun tune all around, and I love that it's fully instrumental. How do you balance playing an instrument that's largely rhythm-based with singing that's more focused on melody and kind of providing harmonies?
Honestly, I have no idea. It kind of just comes naturally to me. I know that's one thing that a lot of bassists and singers struggle with, but I don't know. Like, as soon as I started singing and playing bass, it wasn't really something I thought about. I just did both at the same time. And to this day, I don't know how I do it, but I don't know. It just comes naturally, I guess.
All right. Well, that's fantastic. I need to ask, of course, we've got Rock to Rock. You're already working on the next track. So what's on the horizon for Abby K?
So actually, this Sunday, July 26th, is our full band live stream. We haven't played a live show together since March 12th, so we're really excited to get back together and play a show. It'll be live streamed on theplayroom.online.com, and it's going to be a 1-hour set of 3 originals and all brand new covers that we haven't played before, and it's supposed to be a really good show. I'm really excited.
I mean, that is exciting. That's one of the positives out of this whole COVID-19 situation has been there's a lot of accessibility to music, more so than, you know, so-and-so's playing. For me, it's usually DC or Charlotte. Well, great, I have to make a road trip. Well, now I don't even have to necessarily put on pants. I can sit on my couch and watch it, and I love it. But I got to ask from a doing it perspective, where are you guys going to a venue? Do you guys have a place like you're playing in a basement? Like, how's that work?
So we're actually doing it at the Playroom, which is the recording and rehearsing studio that I'm signed to in Charlotte. And it's going to be completely professional. I think they have 4 HD cameras. All of the audio is going to go directly into the recording studio and come out. So it'll be all professional audio. And I'm really excited. I think it's going to be really good.
I'm excited. I mean, that's this Sunday. What was the time again?
7 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. A little Abby K live stream show. That's going to be exciting. Where can they find you online?
You can find me on all social media at Abby K on bass and on my website, abbykonbass.com.
Excellent. Give Abby K some love. Of course, be ready this Sunday. What was the website again? Playroom?
theplayroom.online.com/AbbyK. And the link will be posted on all of my social media too.
I'll go ahead and I'll post it at the top of this video. That way they know they're ready. 7 p.m. this Sunday. Abby K going to be doing some rocking. Thank you so very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
Are you sick and tired of using those cheap, smelly blue masks? They always seem to break, and no matter what you try to do and fix it, it just doesn't work. Plus, they look horrendous, and they never fit quite right.
There's gotta be a better mask!
Now there is! Introducing the new limited edition 105.3 The Bear Mask. This 2-ply eco-friendly face cover is washable and reusable. And the best part about the new 105.3 The Bear Mask is that 100% of the proceeds benefit the Southwest Virginia COVID-19 Response Force. Get your new limited edition 105.3 The Bear Mask today.